Hello out there to everybody on the social medias and the streaming websites. My name is KD, and this is Austin,
What's up?
and this is the generic paranormal show. That's when I ought to have some fucking music start playing. Bam! Right there. Bam!
We
Music.
need like some literally generic music, like the most generic shit that we
Most
can
generic. Like a knockoff of oh man, what's that? What's the name of that freaking song from Beverly Hills? Oh, I guess it's the Beverly Hills Cops theme song.
Oh yeah, whatever that.
Yeah.
That they use for a lot of shit. Yeah,
Yeah, we gotta find a generic version of that.
like super generic.
Super generic, not just regular generic.
Oh,
Anyways,
yeah.
anyways, as I said, this is the generic paranormal show, and tonight, if you could tell from my thumbnail that I made, worked not very hard on, like literally 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes. I put maybe 2.5 minutes into the thumbnail. Did you see the thumbnail, Austin?
Yeah, it looked like it had Reagan on it.
Right, yeah, Reagan from was her Blair? What was her name? The girl who played Reagan.
Oh, I don't know what the girl's name was.
Can't think of her name.
The actress.
Yeah, it's Blair, isn't it? Something Blair. Anyways, so hello, Kira. We're discussing demonic possessions, and not just possessions, and not just demonics. Okay, it could be any type of possession, and it could be any type of like oppression type scenario where, like, yeah, I guess it's described. Most people. Blair, there we go. Linda Blair. Very good.
What if you got arrested for possession and you got into a shitty situation in jail? Or an unsavory or unpleasant situation.
It could be demonic. It could be demonic.
Well, I don't know if that would be demonic, but it would definitely be possession leading to an unsavory and unpleasant situation.
It could be demonic. It could be a demon caused you to get arrested in the first place. There you go. And now you got possession. And now you got arrested. And now you got in jail with Bubba. No offense to anybody named Bubba. Hello, Katie.
Get a giant.
I've known lots of good dudes named Bubba, but I never met one of those good dudes named Bubba in jail. Just saying. Anyways, so Austin, have you? I'm gonna try to not use as much. I say, okay, so we keep getting this stupid copyright claim shit, right? And it's like even our other videos, right? Like I got a copyright claim and I cannot freaking figure out what it is. So tonight we're going to try and refrain from watching any videos.
All original?
Yeah, we're going all original. We'll look at some pictures and we'll look at some websites and whatnot. But
eventually I want to bring Honey Badger back.
I mean, if we're going to get copyright claimed every single time on YouTube anyway, just for even short, tiny little snippets, then I mean, it's like you might as well.
We don't have to play the whole thing, just a couple minutes, maybe not even a couple minutes. Like we just find a good 30-second, 1 minute section.
Yeah, I think anything over a minute is kind of like borderline and
Yeah, let's just find a nice little section.
You know what? I will. I'll make a little outtakes of the video, and I'll put like a little filter on it, maybe a little music.
Yeah,
and then it's transformed. I guess
I can
play it backwards. I can flip it. I can mirror it.
Yeah,
and that would help, I suppose. It's like, how else can I try?
You can change the pitch and the voice of the guy.
Yeah, I could do that.
Make it real deep.
That might not be the same though. But anyways, We'll try and to avoid watching any kind of copyrighted materials. Turn the sound down throughout. Yeah, but the sound is funny. The
I
sound
feel
is what
like it
makes
would be
it
fucking
funny.
hilarious if his voice was like way deep. Like, look at this little fuck.
It might be. It might be. I can play with that. We'll see. But so, anyways, going back to demonic possession, right? And this is one of the would it be a trilogy of things? I guess not yet. Whenever I figure out the third thing that scared me the most as a kid, then that will complete this trilogy of things that scared me the most as a kid. With two of those things, well, the first one we talked about the last show, and that was zombie apocalypses. Okay, that was the scare. When I was a kid, that was like that and the topic we're covering tonight were the most terrifying things I could possibly think of.
Really?
And they
Alright.
both stem from my older sister making me watch horror movies when I was a kid.
I can't wait to
Say
find out the
that.
last one.
So yeah, I don't even. I'd have to think about it. But it has
Mine
to
would
be
have
a
been,
trilogy. It has to be a trilogy. It has to be a triad.
you know what mine would be? Fucking Signs. I saw that when I was like
Dude,
10 years old and it tripped me out,
it
bro.
is
Like
so
that,
funny that you say that, and you were about to. Okay, how old are you?
32,
32.
33,
So you're not
33.
much older than this dude I watch on YouTube, and his name is Oompaville. And he makes videos just on mostly internet drama and shit, but he also every once in a while does scary stuff or whatever, and so he was talking about the other day crop circles. He made a video the other day, it's crop circles, about crop circles, and he says that stemmed from his fear as a child of aliens, and it's from that movie Signs. So I'm starting to witness a little trend in your little millennial
Dude, I'm telling you, bro.
world here, where you guys were traumatized by a movie
Signs, bro.
about aliens that could be killed with a glass of water. I'm just saying, it's probably not something. What's up, Russell?
I
Probably
know.
not something you're going to want to be, change your world around, but maybe it will. Now he says in the video that maybe he said in the video that it's the scene where the alien runs through the birthday party. That
Yeah,
scares him the most.
that one was,
Is that
yeah,
what is
because
that
it
the
was
scene
like
that got you?
the
That
news
got you?
footage
Yeah,
that
there's
got
like found
me.
footage
That,
type looking.
well, I think I mean, what really got me like nervous was the scene when it was like nighttime, and I think that they had just landed or something, and so like you could see him, you saw the leg of the alien walking into the crops, like as he was like looking around for it.
And then they
That
got
was like that was the first scene that got me, and then the that one, the birthday party, like the Mexican kid's birthday party, like they just showed in the background. That terrified me. I think
that terrified
that was
you.
what definitely gave me nightmares for sure.
Okay, so we have a basis of what like gives your generation. I'm willing to say that because it seems like a trend. It's picking up, and so let's compare that to the crap that Gen Xers may be afraid of from movies. And this is gonna be The Exorcist. This is gonna be perhaps Night of the Living Dead. Perhaps not Night of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead was a source for me. Like I didn't see Night of the Living Dead when I was a kid because they didn't play that. But Return of the Living Dead was definitely hell. Michael Jackson's Thriller used to freak me out when I was 4.
It used
Right
to
when I
freak
was
a lot
4,
of people out. It used to
100%.
freak me out too when I was a kid.
So
That one, as well as the song, I always feel like somebody's watching me.
speaking of which, that sounds like Michael Jackson. Whoa,
It's
is that
not,
a,
but
is that coincidence?
I know it is, but I know it seems like a weird coincidence. But that song, the music video for that freaked me out too, and the song itself is kind of creepy.
Yeah, but it's more like stalkerish, right? It's not like,
Right.
something's gonna kill me in my
Right.
dreams. You
Yeah.
see, I wasn't even afraid of like Nightmare on Elm Street
No,
or
no. I was always afraid
like
of
I may
like
have
somebody gonna come and take me and fucking, you know what I mean? I didn't
right
want I didn't want somebody to come and get me,
something
especially as a kid.
or something like taking you over against your will, right?
Yeah.
Like in this, okay, so yeah, you got a scary alien I said we're not gonna watch any videos off YouTube, and what do? I cut straight to a damn major blockbuster movie, and I'm gonna play 16 seconds of it because I don't give a damn. Hello, Charles Fort. Just like Thriller, agreed. So yeah, so we got picture in your mind, if you will, young Austin, and he's cowering under the covers from the scene where you barely even see this alien. You just see a foot. So really, he's afraid of a foot.
This isn't even The Exorcist. That's not even the Signs. That's The Exorcist you have up right now.
I know. No, I'm giving a visual of what you're scared of
Oh.
is a foot. All right.
Well,
Now,
when 8-year-old me, yes,
this
that
is
was what I
me.
was
This
talking
is me right here. Oh yes. So
about.
that
Yeah, that's terrifying too, for sure.
that's like 5-year-old us, and Gen
Yeah.
X. So just saying, I'm not comparing generations.
You know
I'm
what
just
movie
saying.
my mom always told me like The Blob was the movie that terrified her the most.
Now, which one are we talking about? The
The
like
original,
the
the
50s?
the 60s.
Was that 60s or was it 50s? I don't know. Either way,
I thought it was early 60s,
it could have been. I'd have to
like
look.
early, say like 61, 62.
It
I
might.
maybe
It might.
where's Timmy when you need him?
Oh, 1958. I was thinking 50s,
Oh well, there we go. Where
and
is
then
Timmy?
and then the new one was 1988, which the new Blob was scary also. But anyways, we digress.
Yeah,
Get
demonic
back to the
possession.
demonic possession. So like it's the thought that something could overtake your body and control your body against your will, and I guess that's the thing that freaked me out the most. But then, like, so in your paranormal investigator experience, Austin, hey
Mhm.
Jill, yeah, spider walk on that, yep, scared the crap out of me too. So Austin, in your experience as a paranormal investigator, I'm
Mhm.
certain, I'm 100% certain that you have encountered people who claim to be possessed by demons.
No,
Really?
really.
Really? I was 100% certain. You've never met anybody that said that.
No. Granted, I don't entertain
Well,
residential
yeah, no,
calls.
but it
I
doesn't
don't.
matter. Oh, okay. I guess it does. I guess that matters.
Yeah, I don't
So
entertain residential calls because I'm not about to just go up in somebody's house, in somebody's nasty ass house, stir
it
whatever
is that
activity up in that's in there.
it.
Cockroaches. Oh yeah, yeah.
What happened?
That was just a weird call. Yeah.
What
No.
happened?
No, I got a call from some lady in Texas that thought she was actually, like this lady, I think that she did think that she was possessed by demons or something. I did get a call from somebody who thought that their brain was bugged by the government or something. They were hearing voices in their head. They thought that they called me like, "Is this something that is paranormal?" Like, no.
Well,
You might want to go see a psychiatrist or
yeah, you might want
something,
to get that looked at. If you're hearing voices and they're not yours in your head,
But there was that lady from Texas and she thought that like people were like she said that there were demons and like they were coming to try to take her gorgeousness or something. That she used to be gorgeous and I don't know. It was some weird. She was kind of kooky too, but she was definitely talking about demons and God and all that stuff. I don't know, but not like a really like serious case where it's like this person might actually be possessed. No.
well, I mean, Okay, so I've never actually ran into someone that I think was possessed by demons either, but Katie has. I think she's probably still on the fence of whether or not that person was possessed by demons, actually. Or did you see Jill's question here? What about nursing homes or hospitals, Austin, if not from residentials? Have you ever felt the presence of any demons or like any kind of demonic type activity? I think is what we're going for.
I think the closest, the only thing that I feel like maybe was the Sadamsville Rectory in Cincinnati. And only because there, I mean,
Is it
the one
because of
thing
the
that,
heavy Catholic?
well, that was part of it. Plus, there was some like priest, altar
Not
boy.
the heavy Catholic, but the heavy Catholic influence is what I meant to say.
Well, yeah, it was a Catholic
I'm
rectory.
sure there are a few heavy Catholics.
But there was also a priest that died in a tragic accident. He was like hit by a train that when he lived there. And then there was another pastor or a priest that sexually abused some boys inside the rectory.
What?
So, like, I don't know if that. I think that may have, if anything, that may have triggered it. Like, may have opened the door for it. That kind of activity.
Right.
Well, I don't even know if it was rape or whatever, but like,
I mean, it is rape, right?
I mean, it
If you
is,
have sex
yeah.
with a kid, it's rape.
Statutory rape, yeah.
It's rape regardless because they're not old enough to consent. So
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was actually like full on
R word
penetration or whatever.
R word, the R word. We should probably avoid the R word. I don't know. That's what people are saying. Is
yeah, rape.
hemmed
We'll
up.
call it rape.
We'll call it El Rape. So El Rape would be one, if any, that I could think of. It would be a thing that would be, cause some.
Well, it was more of diddling. Let's just say that it was more diddling and
I mean, I feel like that's
inappropriateness, and it's still
up there to me.
It's still opening up that doorway. Like, I feel like that's still opening up that window for demonic energy to be, especially you're talking about a highly religious household. And now you're acting about those sinful, like really bad fucking things to do.
You could completely take the morality out of it and just look at the situation and say, well, this priest who strongly believes these things or is supposed to is kind of like spitting in the face of God and doing this thing that is vile, and it's almost like it's almost as bad, I would say, as like a black mass or something, like a satanic inversion of Christianity, because you're doing the opposite of what you should be doing, and being a priest or something, I'd say that would invite negative things in. First of all, he's been influenced. 100%. He's been influenced by something negative. So there, you may have I don't want to say possession because that could take away.
But that right there is like the only time that I ever felt like, and plus the big thing that sold me on it was that, it wouldn't react to me. Like, that's what sold me on it, was that, like, me and Mike went into that place and we were like yelling, provoking, like we were being like straight ruthless to this thing, and we didn't get any kind of reaction. And I realized that demons, if they are around, they're not going to work on your time. They wait until you're vulnerable, and then they'll fuck up your entire life. They won't just like scratch you and then leave you alone for the night. Like, they're going to take an opportunity to completely ruin you, because that's what they do. They feed on you, and you feed on your right? Like, what is it? Like, they feed on that negativity.
It starts out
causing chaos in your life and all that.
It starts out as oppression, right?
Mm-hmm.
It starts out as like demonic oppression.
Yeah,
that can lead to like I guess some. I'm not saying I believe this or all Christians believe this, but some Christians might believe that if you're like that they can like take you down to a point in your life where you break contact with God and kind of defy God, and then they step in to kind of fill that space. I guess that's probably obviously very debatable, But I think that's probably the most common way it's looked at, like oppression. That's the point of oppression, is to beat you down into that point where you submit.
Yeah. Well, and also
and then you allow for the presence of something else coming in. But I would also say on the other side of that coin is that there are a lot of people who believe, Christians who believe, that if you are saved, or you believe in Jesus, that you can't be possessed. You cannot be. So I guess that would be the case, right? That would be the situation. You'd have to be like beaten down to a point where you don't believe, right?
Not necessarily. I mean,
the point of oppression is to beat you down to a point where you don't believe.
Well, yeah, feeling a hopelessness kind of thing, like there's nothing left,
right?
Like you don't have anything.
It seems to me like a lot of the, and I don't know about all demonic possession cases, but it seems to me like at least the majority of the ones that have been grown in pop culture, they all had some sort of religious theme to them. Like, well, okay, so the possession victim in each case is going to be like they're going to come from a devout religious background. They themselves may not be like devout religious, or they're usually very young. And so I just wonder if that has anything to do with it, or if the demonic possessions where people are possessed and they're not religious. I'm sure that happens too, but do you hear about that less often?
You
know what I mean? Are you more likely to reach out for help because you feel like you're possessed by a demon if you don't even believe in demons?
I feel like you would definitely be less likely to reach out for help because
you're going to jump to that conclusion that you're possessed by a demon.
Right. That wouldn't be your first or second or third thought in your mind. Like you would think, like, I need to go to the hospital. I need to go see something's wrong with my brain.
Right.
Or something's wrong with me physically, because some of the signs that they say, like they say that you start changing physically, like your skin burns or cuts, abrasions, whatever. Like, when you see Reagan in that movie, right, she's got like cuts all over her skin just from whatever. But like if that would be the first thought,
from the Annalise
Michael,
yeah.
So, I mean, the same thing. Like, I mean, you would think that if somebody, like, that's why even in the movie The Exorcist, right? Like, the first thought was she took her kid to the hospital.
Right.
Like, that's the thing. That's the first thought.
Everything looks normal. And it's like, but why didn't she take her back to the hospital? It'd be like, she's fine, huh? Look at this. Look at this.
I know.
Could you even have
I guess that's always my question too, is like, how long was she in the hospital? Like, why did they leave the hospital? And like, why, how was it not improving in any way if it was in the house? I mean, I guess I could see like doing an exorcism if it was like absolute last resort type thing.
Just keep your kid in the hospital.
Well, right, but like, I mean,
you're talking about like shit. If your kid's goes to the hospital, one emergency room visit, thousands of dollars, bro. It's gonna take you.
If something was wrong, like let's just say this. Let's just say, and I'm just hypothetical, right? Like, let's say that something was wrong with Logan, and you didn't know what the fuck was wrong with him.
Yeah.
And so you took him to the hospital, and I mean, would your first instinct, like, if he was displaying signs similar to what Reagan in The Exorcism was explaining or displaying? Like, would I would keep my, like, at a certain point, I feel like the money doesn't even fucking matter anymore. Like, fix my kid? What the fuck's wrong with my child? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you start looking around, I guess.
So I guess I don't know why she took. I guess I wonder how long Reagan was in the hospital before they took her. Because I know that the real story, they called it Roland Doe, right? Was that?
Well, Roland Doe was the name that they gave.
The name, yeah, it was a fake name, but like, I wonder how long he was in the hospital before they decided, oh, we need to go the religious route.
Well, they moved. They actually moved to St. Louis
Yeah.
for that reason. Now, the people to ask would be Greg Myers, my mentor, because he is actually like him and Sandy are actually the they're experts on everything Exorcist as far as in relation to the St. Louis Exorcist story.
Right. Yeah.
But, yeah. So I guess it's shit. I'm shaking my table here. Got demons in the house. But okay. So and I guess it's very interesting. Demonic possession. Demons in general are interesting to me. Not in a good way. Not in a good way. They're not good. They're not good. They're very bad. They're very bad. Do not vote,
Nobody
do not
knows
vote
about
for
that better
demons.
than I do.
Do not vote for demons.
Nobody knows about demons more than I do.
Right. Nobody knows more than me. Believe me, everybody says it. I am.
Everybody tells you that I'm the best. I'm the best.
But so I guess demons are like this existential threat that you can't see, right? Like but it's
in a way.
lots of those. Yeah, I mean it will. It is a threat to your existence. So it's existential.
Yeah.
100%. And you can't see them. So they're kind of like spiders. Demons are basically spiders. Spiders are demons.
I like the comparison.
That's true, man. You don't see the brown recluse that nearly takes your arm off or whatever, or you don't see them because they're hidden in your clothes or something. And just next thing you know, oh, my arm's falling off. I got bit by a brown recluse, I guess. When did that happen? Shit, I don't even know. I had my brother-in-law
a number of things wrong with that, but all right.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, you don't know, man. You can get bit anywhere by a spider, bro, and it can be bad.
It would be bad.
It could be very bad. It could be very bad. But yeah, so okay, so demonic possession. A lot of people believe that is like strictly a Catholic thing, or it's not that they believe that; it's just that that's all that they really know. But there are actually demonic possession cases from all around the world. Different religions call them different things.
Mm-hmm.
And is this just the okay, would you be open to I just completely switched rails right in the middle of my thought. But would you be open to believing that a person was possessed by demons? Like, would that be
I'm open to it, but it would take a lot of convincing. There would have to be a lot of steps beforehand. They would have to like show up to me like, look, we've been through the hospital system. And again, I would even question then, why did you come to me? Like what, you know what I mean? But like, I would be open to it. Yeah.
I can't believe you've never, but like you said, I guess you've never have really dealt with residential cases. It is very sticky, very like, like for your mind and physically sometimes, like some people have really nice houses.
Yeah, I haven't.
Like you're getting all up in their business, man. It's like you're all up in their super personal space. Because like when people come to you and they say stuff like I'm being possessed by demons, they're basically sharing something with you that they don't just run around telling anybody else. And I don't like that kind of intimacy with people that I don't know. It feels very awkward. Feels very weird to have people tell you they're possessed by demons, and then you have to tell them, well, I can't. I mean, I want to just believe that, but I've heard it a lot, dude. I've seen lots of people that claim to be possessed by demons, but I've never actually seen any kind of. And it may not be like it is in the books or whatever, but I've never seen any kind of the telltale signs. I've never smelled sulfur when I'm around a person, or They've never made it rain indoors, or they've never levitated out of the bed. That I've never seen anybody with superhuman strength freaking out physically in person,
walking up the walls, whatever.
Right. I've never seen anything like that. Speaking different languages that they don't know and with multiple voices simultaneously. I've never seen that. So it's going to be, I guess that's your classic form of possession. So if you want to convince me that you're that you're possessed by this classical demonic possession type situation, then you're going to have to present with those symptoms in order for me to believe that. But then you get people like faking, and it's hard to know. It's hard to tell people that you're not. I don't believe you. Like I hate to tell people that I don't believe you. I'm sorry.
Well, that's why I don't. That's part of why I don't do it, because I realize like a lot of people just wanted. A lot of people would call us out just to like, and then they would bring a couple of their friends over, or their mom and their whatever. They'd have like 2 or 3 other people there with them just to kind of see what we were doing. And also like that we went into a house one time where it had cockroaches, and like,
Done
you
that in
know,
animal control.
right. I mean, it just was like, is it even worth it to me? That's not even why I'm doing this. Like I have questions about it, like about the afterlife. I'm not in it to try to help people, and I mean that may be kind of a shitty thing to
That
say.
is such a shitty thing for you to say, Austin. Oh my God. Christy Bradley says, "How can you tell the difference between a sociopath, psycho/sociopath, and someone demon possessed or demonic possessed?" Well, see, that'd be the difference. That'd be the hard part. That's kind of what Austin's saying. I'd take my kid to the hospital. I'd have them if it was a child. Obviously, you'd have them all the
You'd have to
tests.
go through all those steps, man.
And
All of them.
that was kind of the story with Reagan in I know it's a movie, but it's kind of
Well,
like
it's in
every
everything,
case
really.
has kind of modeled itself after that. I think maybe they might have started looking at actual demonic possession cases differently because of that movie. If you think about it,
Possible. It's possible.
they
No
probably did. They
problem.
probably started assuming that a lot of those cases were, in fact, people who were just, they had some sort of chemical imbalance, or they, a mental health disorder or something that they, was
Oh,
like they could have been schizophrenic, they're hearing voices, doing things like that. And a lot of the people, I've seen some interesting stuff on schizophrenic people where they posting videos and stuff and watching their videos. And I saw this really interesting video of this guy who had a dog. It was his service dog, and it was trained to see people or not see people, to acknowledge that there's somebody there or not. So that this guy with, schizophrenia, who had a habit of, or it was in his part of his, his schizophrenia, that he would see people or things that weren't there.
and you needed the dog to help
Beings that
him.
weren't there for like
Yeah.
right. So the dog would be like, I forget the dog's name. We'll call the dog Rufus. That's just what came out of my mind immediately. Rufus, right off the top. Rufus the dog here. Okay, so I'm seeing for example, a clown dude standing in the room with me, and he's got a knife, and he's telling me to kill myself or something like that. I don't know. And I probably shouldn't have said those words either, because they'll tend to get you kicked off.
Unalive. Unalive.
Unalive. All right, they want you to unalive yourself. Uh,
It's unaliving.
and so you, knowing that you have your thing, you're like, okay, is this real or not? And you look at the dog and you point you look at Rufus. You say, Rufus. What was the word that he used? Oh my God. Present. Was it present? Rufus present. I can't remember. He would basically tell the dog to go say hello to the person in the room,
Mm.
and or acknowledge the person in the room. And the dog, if there's nobody else in the room, the dog would just look at him. and it wouldn't even look in another direction if the dog knew there was nobody else in the room. That's kind of crazy, and that could also work for. But what if the dog looks? Right? What if the dog looks? Because it's kind of setting yourself up. If you believe that pets, dogs, cats can see supernatural beings, then it's possible that your dog could see a ghost. And if you see a ghost and your dog sees a ghost, then the dog thinks somebody's in the room. But
You would need a third person. You would need another person to verify
that it's not a ghost. So I'm gonna have my whole posse of people walking around with me. Hey man, everybody stop. Is this real right now?
Right.
Dog, what do you think? Have a whole army of people with me to help me.
Yep.
That's crazy, man. That's so crazy. So,
yeah.
So where have we gotten with this demonic possession thing? I don't. It's really hard to nail it down. We could.
As far as the difference goes, yes, Christy. Like I believe that it would be like you would have to go through all the steps, and that'd be the only way that I could.
I feel like you would have to be. You'd have to have like a priest and doctor's look, right? Or whatever your religion is. You'd have to have a person from that religion come in and be like, okay, well, what about this thing? And then,
well, I also want to put this out there too, because this seems to be a big misconception, right? That people seem to think that they can go in and that anybody can just go in and perform an exorcism, or that if you are ordained or if you are a demonologist or whatever, that you can perform an exorcism. Mm-hmm. And no, you cannot. Not legally, I guess, or not whatever, but like a true exorcism, you actually have to get permission from like the archdiocese or an archbishop of the, what is it? It's like correct me. It's like you got to get permission from the archdiocese, and he has to go get permission from the Vatican in order for you to be able to perform an exorcism.
I think for them, I think they can come out and they can like do a blessing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah, but they can fuck that
and
up.
But they can use that as a like, oh yeah, this dude's fucked up. Like he's crawling up the fucking walls.
Yeah, but even the Vatican needs documentation and proof that this person has been to a hospital. They've been, like they need documentation even in order to pay the visit.
I don't know. Well, yeah, no. Well, see, I think how it would go is you would get your local, whatever. I'm
your
not
local parish.
I don't know. Yeah, you get your local church involved, but you would basically ask the priest to come out and bless your house and your family or whatever, and they would come out and do that. I think they do that for free, like without any kind of. Well, I mean, when I say for free, I mean without any kind of like, oh, you gotta have this or you gotta have that. So they'll come out and do that. Now, I think it could be based on their word, right? Like, hey, they just send it right up. Like this dude is like speaking in tongues or in different voices or different languages. He's right. He's right. Is ABCs in Aramaic. I don't know. He doesn't know Aramaic. He's 4.
Who the fuck knows Aramaic?
But
isn't Aramaic a dead language?
Aramaic is a dead language. That was the language I want to say. I'm not.
That's the original language of the Bible, isn't it?
Well, I think that was the language that was. I know that was the language that was spoken very commonly amongst the Hebrew people during Jesus's time. Mm-hmm. So I think that might have something to do with why it's always Aramaic.
I think so.
What are you talking about? Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you guys are Catholic, Darian, or well, at least your mom. I'm pretty sure you're Catholic too. But Christy's definitely the movie Misery. What's the movie? What is that? What Misery was a terrible movie. That gave you nightmares. Really? Really? Misery? Misery didn't give me not. That was messed up when James Caan got his legs bashed in by fried green tomatoes lady. I can't remember her name, but
Fried green tomato.
fried green tomatoes lady. That's what I remember her from. That and the Misery. Greek mythology. Oh, okay, for that question. Okay, so yeah. So anyway, so but spirit possession is really what we're talking about here, right? Because if we're talking about demonic possession, we're talking about like when you're talking about demons, you're talking about unclean spirits. At least that's what Jesus called them. Or was he? I think he was referencing the demons as unclean spirits. He could have been singling out another type of entity, also known as unclean spirits, which are separate from demons. I don't really know, but just looking, you thinking back and to that in the Bible where he cast the demons out or the unclean spirits. I think he calls them unclean spirits. He casts unclean spirits out of the pigs. But anyway, so were these unclean spirits? Were these demons, or were these just spirits of humans that were still on the earth that were malevolent human spirits, right? Because they can seem demonic, or they can even purposely, intentionally, they could take on a demonic form to scare you, or just because that's how they want to present themselves or whatever. They could be just trying to be scaring you off, or it could be other things. But now that's the interesting part, what kind of spirits can actually possess you, right? Like, could you, because okay, think back to what movie was it? Well, it was based on a case, but the movie pops into my head. Hell, I guess any movie, right? Like you go back to Amityville Horror. Everybody, the dude in that movie basically got possessed by but not demons, but this spirit of whatever his name, the old guy. What was the old guy's name in Amityville Horror? I wish I'd prepared better for these things.
There's Ronnie DeFeo, and then there's
Ronnie DeFeo was the guy that walked in and shot people, right? I'm talking about the guy.
The Lutzes.
The Lutzes was the family's name. What was the old man's name before? You know what I'm talking about? Like the origin of the haunting?
Well, Ronnie DeFeo was the one that killed his family.
No, but he did that because he was convinced to do that.
Yeah, he was convinced by something else, like Beelzebub or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but I thought it was like an old man. Anyways, I might be wrong. I might need to go.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But I'm pretty sure. That might even be like a sequel to Amityville that I'm thinking about. It probably is.
The one with Ryan Reynolds?
Well, that one too, right?
Mm-hmm.
The same way. It was like an old man of some sort. I can't remember what the ghost was. Who the
that
ghost
was a good one too. Yeah,
it was pretty good. It was decent.
That's a pretty good movie compared to the newer ones.
I think it was a good pick for Ryan Reynolds, and is the was it Ronnie?
It was a good role for him,
or whatever Lutz dad's name was.
Yeah, I can't
remember. It's been so long since I watched that movie. But they could have picked his son to play him. Because Brolin, and that who played his dad, Josh Brolin's dad, didn't he play? And I can look this shit up.
The original Amityville Horror was like a little before my time, and I have not seen it a whole bunch. Never got into that one.
Let's see here. I want to look at the movie, the cast of the movie.
Mentally ill from Amityville.
Let's see here. Who originally played? Yeah, James Brolin. Ha! I was right, and it's just because him and his son look just alike. Josh Brolin. You guys, Thanos, and he looks just like his dad, dude.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
You don't know who Josh Brolin is? Kid that played
Maybe.
he's the older kid on the Goonies.
I never watched the Goonies. I mean, I have, but like it's been so long. I don't.
You haven't seen the Goonies.
It's been a long time, dude.
We're gonna have to talk.
A long time.
We're gonna. Have
It's
to
probably been close to 10 years since I've seen the Goonies, dude.
I mean, it's probably been longer than that for me, but I still remember those things. I remember a lot more about the Goonies. That was a very iconic movie in my time. In my day, boy, you'd like the Goonies. You'd ask for more. You'd watch it over and over again on VHS.
Yeah,
Goonies and Lost Boys. Lost Boys was kind of like a R-rated version of the Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, that was like the first cool vampire movie, I think.
Darren, you're not 30.
Lost Boys is what made vampires cool, I think. Tell me I'm wrong.
I don't know about. I don't
Because
think
even Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yeah, it was a better portrayal of vampires.
Even Bram Stoker's Dracula became bigger, I think, because the Lost Boys reignited the interest in Bram Stoker's Dracula amongst the younger generation at that time. Because what was that? The early '90s that came out.
It was kind of like a play on that. Oh,
Yeah.
second Goonies movie, second Goonies conversation you've heard today, Charles. Yeah, that's because that was a classic movie. Did it come out? Like, is this the anniversary of the Goonies or something? Is that why? That'd be so weird if it was, and I just swear to God, I might have heard it somewhere at some point today, and it just come out. Like, yeah, Bela Lugosi was Dracula. Darian, I refuse to believe that you're 30 years old. That's my niece.
If she was born in '94, then she's 30.
She's lying. She's lying. I remember when she was a little kid. There's no way.
Well, when she was a little, when she was born, because you're 44, right?
Yes. Look, I realize the math is there. Okay, I realize that it's possible. All right. I just choose to not believe that all these nieces and nephews of mine are in their freaking are 30 or late 20s. It's so weird.
It's like you're
Thanks
like
for making me feel even older, Darian. I appreciate that.
You're like the astronomer that doesn't want to believe that it's something. It's like the math says it's there. Nope, not gonna believe it. We haven't seen it. Nope, not doing it.
Bela Lugosi is Dracula or was Dracula.
Yeah, in the original, the '60s one, I think.
Darian.
Well, was it the '60s? No, I think it was the '40s, wasn't it?
Nah, yeah, you're talking about the '40s and maybe even the '30s, like late '30s.
No, it was the '30s. That's right. Yeah, it was the '30s.
Yeah. So Bela Lugosi had a lot of problems though. You know, if you look at the actual amount of time that we all see Bela Lugosi as I don't think he was the best Dracula. That might have been the best portrayal.
It was the original. It's the original
vibe. Yeah, but he was just like a drug-addled Hollywood actor dude. Like, you know, you could have put almost anybody in that spot, in that same outfit, the same scene, and you could have put who's the guy that played in all the horror movies? He plays Wolfman. He's also Frankenstein. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. But yeah, you could also you could have substituted him out for Bela Lugosi out for several other actors. But you know, most of his scenes in other movies, like later on down the road, like mostly come from that original movie, that Dracula movie, and he was so jacked up later in life, and they had him. It was almost like when they had Bruce Willis making movies, and he couldn't even remember his lines.
Yeah.
like towards the end there, and they're just feeding the lines into the earpiece. It was like he was just kind of a set piece,
or like Biden, or like Biden,
or Joe Biden. Yes,
where it's like he doesn't even know his name anymore. Just get him off it.
his accent's not one of a kind. His voice is one of a kind, but his accent is very, very like Eastern European sort of. It's like not even a great Eastern European. Yeah, because I think he was Italian, right? Is Bela Lugosi Italian?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's I mean, I'm not saying Italians can't do Romanian accents. They can. But I'm sure probably maybe better than a lot of Americans could do an American accent. Hey, what's up? Hey, we got a Twitch viewer. Hello,
I will
Twitch
say that
by the way, 7.
I will say that like Bram Stoker or Bela Lugosi's Dracula kind of like set the tone. Like it's
no, he did.
It was the first. He was the first. So like,
well, he wasn't the first. Wasn't the first vampire to be played on silver screen.
Well, but he was the first. He was the first portrayal of Dracula.
Dracula, like
Bram Stoker's Dracula.
The book style Dracula. Yes. Yeah. But you also had the other movie. What was it? They had big long fingers and the teeth. Oh my god.
Nosferatu.
There we go. That's kind of, and that was actually, I think that was a retelling of Dracula, right?
No.
That based on it. I don't remember. I had to study that stinking movie in school and college, and I don't even remember.
I can't remember what is the name of the movie that it is. Nosferatu. It's not. I'm trying to remember the title of the movie.
Nosferatu is. I think that is the title of the movie. Mm-hmm. It's not. That was the title of the newer movie that came out. They put a newer movie out.
Like I'm talking about the one with the original Van Helsing.
Yeah, the old like 1920 or whatever. Mm-hmm. Whatever it was.
Like it had the original Dr.
It's called Nosferatu.
There was another. It was called something.
That's it. It's called 1922. It's called Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror.
And what's the other one that was a little bit later?
Well, you got a newer one that came out, or it's coming out. I don't know.
No, I'm talking about. It was called something different. Like I didn't think it was Nosferatu, because when I was watching it, it's like, oh,
yeah, no, it's not Nosferatu for sure.
Look up what movies Nosferatu does, like
different movies.
Yeah, or like what movies are Nosferatu movies?
Dude, I'm only getting the one. That's only the one, and that's like in the 20s. I don't know how we got started talking about this. Well, obviously from the Exorcist movie, so there we go. Better.
God damn it.
What you guys need to make an appearance on our podcast, Fear Fans. If you like horror movies, we'd love to have you on sometime. Man, Jill, I am one of the biggest horror movie fans there is. I'm not so caught up on newer horror movies, but I specialize kind of in
hey babe.
In like 80s schlock. I like a lot of that.
What was the name of that movie?
Oh, Salem's Lot. Hey, Charles.
Salem's Lot. That's what it is.
That's
Salem's Lot.
That's not the same. That's based on the movie, right? The original.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Nosferatu. The Salem's Lot was based on the original Nosferatu movie. Oh, okay. I thought Salem's Lot, or I thought that Nosferatu was.
Eminem did not make up Salem's Lot. Just because he had the one line in his one, I cannot grow old in Salem's Lot. So here we go. It's my shot. Feet fail me not. Yeah. No. So Jill, what's your favorite scary movie? My favorite to watch. Okay, so my favorite, I kind of like. Oh, sorry. Rad Key Love Booze Booze Booze. Hey, I use Twitch, and this is here.
Radical Love
I
Bus.
stream my gameplay. Okay, if y'all like watching streamers game, people.
Is her name Radical Love Bus? Is that what that says?
Radical Love Bow or Bus, one of the two. Yes. Oh, it's Darian. Oh, I see it now. I see you in your face there.
Oh, is that Radical Love Bus? Is that
Crazy.
That's kind of epic, though.
Nosferatu, Stephen King book. Well, I mean, Stephen King definitely, yeah. Stephen King, his character in Salem's Lot, or Stephen King's done several. Love Bo, right? Love Bo, like Bo.
Makes sense.
So Stephen King has had a lot of vampire characters, and one of those was the Night Flyer. I remember that, and that was even that was very Dracula-esque. It was very like I could turn into
Would you consider
supernatural powers type Dracula. That was the difference in like your classical like Dracula style vampires and I guess Lost Boys is okay. So here's what I was going to say about Lost Boys before I lose that. Charles, you were talking. Was it you? No, we were talking about. You said Goonies.
Yeah, I said it. I said the Lost Boys made vampires cool.
Yes. So Lost Boys, right? Lost Boys is almost like a continuation. It's almost like a Dracula 2.
Kinda, yeah.
It's very
more like a '90s version of Dracula.
In the same vein as you know what, Jill? You know what, Jill? Like Lost Boys is one of my all-time favorite horror movies. Period, hands down. And that's not even one I bag on. There's some scenes I bag on, like the guy with the saxophone. That was a bit much, but there's a lot. That's actually a good movie, good horror movie, for lots of different reasons. So one thing I think most of us little '80s babies like most about Lost Boys is that it's almost like like I said, R-rated version of the Goonies. It is like it's got the caves, it's got the hero antagonist kids, almost like the Goonies. What are they? His brother Frog, and his brother's name Frog or something. God dang, I need to go back and watch that movie. I'll have to watch it if we come on and do the show. Jill, I'll definitely watch it again. But got him laughing it up. I get Austin going every once in a while.
Yeah, you try to sometimes.
He's got a very Fred Flintstone laugh. Not Fred Flintstone. Barney
Rubble.
Barney Rubble. Yes. There we go. Barney Rubble.
Colleen even is saying no.
I think so. Maybe like a version of it. I don't know. Probably not.
What would you say? Who would you say my laugh is? What would you say my laugh is like? Sounds like me, I guess.
Sounds like an Austin.
I guess.
Yeah, see, Jill, I'm used to like watching like crap horror movies and bagging on them. And if that's what I'm doing, I think my favorite crap horror movie to watch and bag on and make fun of is The Spookies. That's a really good one. The Spookies. If you haven't seen The Spookies, go check out The Spookies. It's ridiculous. And you watch it by yourself. It's best to watch it with some friends and make fun of it and laugh at the ridiculousness. Frog Brothers. Yes. So the Frog Brothers is their group name. Yes. That's what I was thinking. His brother's name was Frog. I definitely got to go back and watch it. Not right. Not right. The Frog Brothers, yes, and they work at a comic book store, and they have their own little they're like a vampire killing club, which is kind of like the same thing as the Goonies, right? Sort of like, but it's the more extreme version. I guess it would be kind of like what the Goonies saw themselves as.
What's that dude's name that plays one of the Frog Brothers?
He's Corey,
like
Corey
Feldman.
Feldman.
Corey Feldman,
Corey
yeah.
Feldman was Corey Feldman was
one of the Frog Brothers.
Corey Haim was the I can't, not Michael, but the other kid. I can't remember the kid's name. Movie. I remember Michael's name because that's everybody says his name a million freaking Michael. Mm-hmm. You hear the word? I'm gonna count next time I watch Lost Boys how many times that dude's name is said, but they literally say his name 100 times. But the love interest of the mom in that movie was actually like Dracula, right? He was Dracula.
Vampire, yeah.
I think they actually called him Dracula.
No, they called him the head vampire. I mean, somebody might have called him Dracula, but I know the grandpa comes in at the end and saves the day.
Yes.
He's like, I hate Santa Clara, all the damn vampires.
Yeah.
You fucking do, you dude. Come on, man.
Great, man. It's a good movie.
It is.
Okay. So closing statements on demonic possession, even though we spent the last half hour talking about vampires.
My closing statements?
That's kind of just the way it goes. But closing statements on demonic closing generic statements.
We need less people out there doing exorcisms or claiming to be doing exorcisms because they're not. The Vatican is the only people that can actually approve a true exorcism. Anybody else that's doing them is just, I mean, I don't know. I don't believe it necessarily the same way that I would a true exorcism. I feel like exorcisms and demonic possession, all that stuff is a lot more rare than people want to claim it to be, especially the YouTubers, but I mean, it's possible it's still possibly out there. You always got to be aware, of course.
Very true. So be aware of demonic possession. I guess I'll close out with just saying this. Demons, demons.
Oh, Lexi.
Demonic possessions are burdened by what is, and the only way for them to become what they can be is to be unburdened by the burdens that they're burdened by, so that they can reach an unburdened state.
What a burden.
That's all I had to say. Just want to tell everybody good night.